Welcome to Stream of Conscious Podcast. I am your host, Joel. I prefer to bike Cox. And this is my co host, Joe. I prefer to run stout.
You prefer to bite? sounds that sounds dirty.
So I said bike.
Oh, bike. I thought you said bite. We do need closed captions for this show. Those of you who don't speak Joel, bike.
So let's talk about that actually.
I do like to run. I love running. It's meditative for me. I got my bike back. My brother had borrowed my bike for a while, and I'm like, here's the thing. He borrowed my bike almost a year ago, and I kind of forgot about it because I did nothing but run all last summer. So then this summer, it's still spring. Like I haven't really got into that part of the season yet. So he calls me up a little bit ago because he moved to California. He got a job out in California. So he calls me up and he's like, hey, do you want your bike back? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, my bike is out back. Like, I completely forgot that I loaned it to him. And I would have walked out back one day, like, looking for my bike or, like, went to go change make sure everything was covered up or when I'm moving stuff around. And I would have been like, where'd my bike? I would have been flipping out, screaming at neighborhood kids. I would have been out there yelling at them like a crazy old guy. Like, I know you took it, you little sons of a... Like, little kids walking through my backyard, I would have been flipping out and throwing stuff at them. And so, because I lent my brother my bike, and I completely forgot about it. So.
Well, I used to have a bike. Actually, I've had multiple bikes. So I remember I bought a bike when I went to college, and that's how I got around campus a lot. And then after college, I forget what happened to that bike, but I bought another one. I think it was like around '05. I was freelancing, and I decided I was going to bike around. There's North Park. They have that giant lake, so I used to bike around that thing all the time. I think it was like 5 miles around.
North Park's beautiful. I think it's something like
it's
that.
5 miles if you go around one lap. I actually biked the whole thing. Like, I did 30 miles in one shot. Didn't stop. Didn't get off the bike. I pedaled the whole time. I was so proud of myself back then. But yeah, I used to bike all the time doing that. But then around 2007, I got into mountain biking.
I think we talked about this before because I said you used to go with a couple of your buddies.
Yeah.
And you had one friend that could like bike uphill crazy fast, and you were like, I can't bike down a mountain, let alone up a mountain. But.
Oh, I used to go to Seven Springs. That was amazing. Because you take the ski lift up, and then you just bike down.
Yeah.
It was none of the work. It was all the fun.
Oh, see, that's cool. That's very cool. I've never been to anything like that. And the bike I have that I just got back, which, like I said, I took it like on the flat trail before, but I've never actually really been any kind of mountain.
The other guys were buying like these super expensive bikes. I spent $300 on my bike at my last.
You got a Huffy from Walmart?
Yes, I did.
Did you really get a Huffy from Walmart?
I had dual shocks in the front and back. I had disc brakes. The thing was, I called it the big ass heavy because it was because people buy bikes to be light. I didn't care. Mine was a tank. Like, I could have, like, dropped the truck on the thing and have been like, that's all you got?
That's my bike is the same thing. It's not a Huffy, but it's whatever the Walmart knockoff.
I'm actually going to go on FreeCycle and look for a bike because what happened was the last trip I actually did when I went biking with those guys, my rear derailleur exploded. Like, I didn't, like, hit a branch and, like, no, it exploded and shattered. So, like, I only had one gear. Well, technically I had 3 gears. But they weren't the gears I wanted. So I bought the parts to replace the bike and never repaired it. Well, finally, before I moved out here, I repaired the bike. And, I biked around... Or no, did I repair it here? I can't remember. So at some point I repaired it. That's what it is. I repaired it before I left the school district. And I biked around with it, but not that much. Well, Kristen's house has, like, an apartment thing on the side of it. And the guy living there takes care of like the property, whatever. Yeah. And he has a bike to get around. They stole his bike, and like he's a good guy.
I remember this. This wasn't that long ago. Somebody came by and took the guy's bike.
Yeah, so I gave him my bike because they just sat there and collected dust. Well, now I got an old bike. I think my second before the bike I had before, the one I biked around North Park with, is sitting out on my patio. It's all rusted and screwed up. I might upgrade that one until I can get biking again, but like. I always had a bike, and now I don't really have a bike, so...
I've got all the tools to work on a bike,
so
but I don't have half the know-how.
Oh, my first bike was a broken 10-speed. Well, my first real adult bike was a broken 10-speed. It had a bad crankshaft. I actually bought the parts and replaced them and gutted and repaired it. I chewed tire. Like I could do anything with a bike now, repair wise.
I've fixed a lot of them, but I have no idea. I'm just fiddling with them
Yeah.
until something works.
Well, I
until
know.
it
I
stops
basically
sticking.
like I can repair them. Like how people work on cars, I can do. I can kind of do that with bikes. So I need to probably buy myself an old broken bike and just buy the parts and restore it.
I think that's like the same. Like people, like bikes aren't as complicated as a car is
Yeah.
necessarily, but you learn it the same way. You get into it, you
Yeah.
don't know what you're doing, you figure it out, and you go, oh, that's how that works, and
Mhm.
that's how you learn how to work on bikes. I don't think there's like I don't
I
think you
should probably
take
go
a
to the
class,
Goodwill.
but-
They might have some bikes.
Yeah, you should. They always have bikes. Goodwill has like bikes out the wazoo. You trip over them walking in
They
the
should be
door.
dirt cheap there too.
Yeah, they always are. You can always get it.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going to the Goodwill and give me a bike.
Yeah, I got mine Walmart, and it was
Yeah.
just like I just was looking for something cheap, and I just needed. I don't
I've-
want to spend a lot of money. I don't need the lightweight bike. I don't
Yeah.
need anything crazy like that, and I don't want to. I went into like one of the bike stores in Robinson, and I walked in.
Don't ever walk up. Don't
Oh,
ever go to a bike store.
I didn't know at the time. I walk in, I'm like, I come in, I'm like looking for a bike. The guy's like,
People-
follow me. He starts showing me $1,000 bikes.
People spend money.
Yeah,
The one guy I remember, he spent more on his tire than I spent on my entire bike.
that's absurd. Who spends that much money on a bike? Why do I need that? I don't want that. What is the? How is a bike that much of a different? This is not space age technology. Is this bike designed to fly around for NASA?
Some of them are. Some of them do have space.
I'm
suit
not
technology.
bike riding on the moon. I don't need $1,000 bike. I know people have like $4,000 bikes. That's absurd.
Too rich for my blood.
Man, maybe I'm just poor, but like
I'm
that
poor.
angers me. Like I get upset like thinking
No.
that there's bikes out there that exist at that price.
No, I'm just Poe.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's partly that I'm poor, and maybe I'm just being a little judgmental. But no, it's, and I shop everything. I don't care what it is. I go to Walmart for literally everything. If we're out of milk, I go to Walmart. If I need to buy a bike, Walmart. If I need underwear, Walmart. Doesn't matter what it is. Walmart's my answer for everything. Like I am that person. I'm the guy who goes there for everything. You name it, I'm doing it. They recently started this one. This drives me nuts. Have you been in a Walmart where you're walking around and you know how like you used to walk up to the grocery store or whatever store and there'd be the guy standing outside ringing the bell during Christmas and you want your money and you go, here's my money, you give him your change, and so that evolved. Now there's people that stand outside of these of the stores and they want to sell you on something. They're doing, home improvements or excuse me. Nobody ever says excuse me and then follows it up with you drop this or I really wanted to tell you what a nice day it is and I love your shirt. Like it's not that. Like it's always they want something from you. So you get all these people just standing outside the stores and they want to sell you like gutter helmet or whatever goofy thing that they're selling today. Like all this crazy just ridiculousness. And well now. Like you used to have to fight your way past there. So what I would do is I would hang back a little bit and wait for like one of the slower, like I'm like one of those zebras on the Serengeti or something that kind of like waits for the slower zebra to get caught by the lion so he can run past. Like that's my move. Like I stand there and I hang back and I wait for them to start talking to somebody else. And then I hurry up and I dart past them so I don't have to deal with this because I don't want to buy. If I wanted it, I would have came to you. Like I don't deal with that.
You know what I do?
What's that?
Here's what I do. When I go I'm gonna go grocery shopping, and I know like I don't be bothered. I'm just like in the zone. I want to get something. Get my headphones, put them in, have my music on.
I feel my headphones me just so I don't have
put
to.
my sunglasses on and I just walk in. They're like, "Sir, excuse me, sir." And it's like I just keep walking. I'm just like a robot. I'm like, shh, must get groceries.
See, I don't have that mentality because, like, in my brain, I'm like, maybe they do have something that I need to know about. Maybe they do have that thing. Like, maybe they're like, are you the guy who lost this wallet or this briefcase full of money or something? Or whatever?
No, because
like, I just think that's
when
what's
I
going
leave
on
the
inside
car,
me.
I check my wallet. My wallet's in my pocket.
I know, and I know that it's never anything good. I know they're not waiting for me to give me
Did I ever
something.
tell you about my
They're
dish
not
net-
like today is free cookie day or hey, this chick over here wants to give you a blowjay or something. Like, it's not that. I know that. I know I'm not gonna. I know they're just gonna want to take.
I
My
ever tell you about my Dish Network experience?
No. I
So-
hate those guys too because now they're inside the stores.
Yeah,
They
so-
chase you down.
Sam's Club. So
Yeah.
my mom and I are going.
Costco does it too.
My mom
Let's
and I
beat them both up.
are going to Sam's Club. We're walking through. Guy asked me if I want Dish Network. I said, "Hey, did you ever fix that problem with the snow catching on the dish and not being able to clean it off?" No. What about that 600 millisecond lag issue you have with the internet connection? Did you guys fix that yet? And like, I just basically like tore into him. Like,
You're too smart for you know these things. Like you can say like I don't know what the lag speed or how many.
But my
gigs of
point
RAM
is,
or whatever. I wouldn't know what
the look on his face when I'm like, hey, this is wrong, this is wrong. You gonna fix that? You fix that, I'll go back to you.
See, I got to go the exact opposite. They go, "What do you think about that? Who do you have as your cable provider?" And I'm like, "We're
My
Amish.
mom.
I don't know what you're talking about. I live in a basement with my mommy, so I don't have to, like, I have to come up with something stupid to get rid of them." And they always have, like, answers, like, no matter what you throw at them, they're always like, "Well, have you ever thought about moving out of your mom's basement?" No, I don't. And I don't even live in my mom's basement. I just say I have to just get rid of them.
Oh, I didn't know what I did the one time.
Verizon's always in Walmart now, too. They drive me nuts.
So, I get a lot of spam at work. A lot of spam. People are trying to sell me stuff. So I got an email for a Pico brewery.
What's a Pico brewery?
It's like a microbrewery, but smaller. So
There's something smaller than a microbrewery.
Yes.
Like, microbrewery is the smaller version of the brewery. Like, there's the brewery, and then there's the microbrewery, and then there's so some dude in Allentown, Pennsylvania, making beer in
no,
his bathtub.
it was a kit to like make your own microbrewery.
Oh, so this isn't even like you're not. This is even somebody making.
Exactly. They're selling me a kit.
They now want you to do your own.
Yeah. So they
brewery.
keep emailing me. I'm like, I've had enough of this. And my coworker's like, you know what you should do? You should tell them you're a recovering alcoholic. So I go to unsubscribe and said why. I said, this email is unacceptable. I'm a recovering alcoholic in the 12-step process. And the last job I had, I almost lost because of microbrewery down the
You
street.
built a backstory for it.
Yes, I did. I wrote a backstory.
You could have just been like, "I'm an alcoholic. Please stop."
No,
you
no.
could have just
I had
clicked
to
that
sell it.
unsubscribe
I had to
button
sell
on
it.
there.
I had to sell it.
No,
Sell it, sell it, sell it.
You built up this whole thing with aliases, and I'm surprised you didn't call me up and go, "If anybody contacts you, just know this about me." You really built this one up. That's wild. No, I get a bunch of emails too, but like mine are, I must have like went on the wrong thing or put my email in something or who knows what, because I get them from everybody and everything. So like I unsubscribed, and as I was getting them from like 5 or 6 different emails a day that weren't like emails I wanted. So what I did was I unsubscribed to all of them. Well, then the next day they must go, "Oh, this is a good email. He's unsubscribing." So they sold my email to like 20 other people. So I'm now getting them from like 10, 15, and then the next day, so I unsubscribed a bunch. Next thing you know, I was getting like 40 to 50 emails a day. 40 to 50 emails from like various this, that, and whatever. So like I was like, finally, like I went online and I was like, there's got to be a way around this. Like you got to have some sort of like put me on a do not call list or something. No, yeah, that's the only. And I've had this email forever, so I'm not changing my email because screw you, because this is my email. So I'm like, I'm gonna find a way because now I'm pig-headed. I have to fight this one. So I can't. I don't want to unsubscribe. It says don't unsubscribe. Just ignore them. It'll eventually go away. So for months I ignored it. Like I didn't do anything, and I'm still getting them. And it went down. Like it dropped from like 40 to now I'm getting like I don't know like 5 or 6 again. But I'm still getting like 5 or 6 a day. So what I thought was my genius plan was. What I did is I took all the emails that I was getting and I would copy the email and I would forward it to the next person who sent me the email. So like everybody, like they would like save money on an oil change, and then the next one would be like, come spend $25 and save $5 on the next time you want to buy the shirts or something. So I would forward the oil email to the shirt people, and then I would vice versa. So I would send all the emails. I started forward them to everybody, and I noticed I started getting a lot less emails once I started forwarding everybody else. So now I'm spamming them back. So I'm every 5 that I get, you're getting 4 of the other people's emails. But some emails have outsmarted me, like where you can't reply to them. They can send to you, but you can't reply. I'm like, how does that work? Like, how do you get to be the not reply? I want my email to be the not reply email. Like, how do I make that happen? But yes, so I started doing it, and honest to God, it's slowed down for me. Like I'm still getting too many, but I got a lot less once I started forwarding everybody else's spam.
I got a lot of people like they use for the lead generation. Like, oh, hey Joel, I didn't see you working this company. Obviously, you need to buy a forklift. No. So occasionally people will say, hey, well I emailed you, and we should meet up on the da da da. I don't reply. 3 emails in, like, well, you didn't even reply to my email. So sometimes what I'll do, my coworker suggested this. Anytime someone sends an email saying, hey, you're the right guy, I just write in all capital wrong, and I put in a folder called wrong. So if they email me again, I'm like, hey, I told you the first time, leave me alone.
Well, what happens is they change their email so
No,
much.
this is
like
no.
they can-
This is actually like companies trying to get me to buy stuff from them.
Well, even like those ones, like say Verizon or something,
Mm-hmm.
start sending you emails. What they do is they change their email like almost daily or
Yeah.
something. So it'll be Verizon 1110536 or something. Then the next day it's Verizon 110.
Well, these are actually these are actually people who are trying to like make connections.
Oh, see, that's
So this one girl.
start sending them back the spam email every
So
time you
no,
get.
here's what I did. So like I didn't reply for like 3 emails, and she goes, "Well, I had trouble contacting." I said, "Listen here, I'm a database engineer. I'm not this guy.
I'm an alcoholic.
You're wasting my time. How can you do this?" And like I basically lit her up. She replied. She was angry with me for writing her. I'm like, "You're harassing me."
You came to me. I've always been this person. You chose to talk to me. Nothing has changed on my side of the line. I don't want your product, never have. And I'm a recovering alcoholic. Joe will confirm it. Here's the story of how it all came to be. I lost my job. That's another one I get. I got phone calls from somebody. I've never went online looking for a job. Like I've applied for particular jobs online, like certain jobs you had to apply online. But I've never like went onto one of those websites where you put in your information and then they come to you and they try to sell you jobs or something like. And I have been getting phone calls. A couple times a week, I get a phone call from a number I don't know, and they don't leave me a message. So I started Googling the phone numbers. I look in to see, and a lot of them are just ones like they were saying, like you put your. So I started answering the call. Hello, is this Joe? Yes, and it's always somebody who like barely speaks English, and they're always like, "Did you look for a job?" And I'm like, no, I did not. I do not look for a job. I didn't put my information in for a job, and I'm fairly certain if I was looking for a job, it would be something here in America where we speak English.
When I was looking for a job, I would get these guys all the time from Philadelphia. Hey, it looks like you have the word database in your resume. Why don't you go out to Philadelphia and do this job for $100,000 a year? I'm like, I can't do that job. Oh, come
I'm not
on.
qualified for $100,000.
Like, there's all these jobs that I'm like qualified for. Oh, come out to North Dakota or South Carolina. I'm like, I move out there, I don't get the job, and then I'm screwed. Screw you, buddy.
No, those are a scam. I hate that. Like, there was the big one about the people calling for the IRS. I actually got that call. I got the call where they was like, "You owe money to the IRS, and we're gonna send you to jail if you don't send it." Okay, well, check's in the mail, and I hung up on them. But like, it's just a big. They called like they finally got busted.
I really wish they called me and be like, bring it. You better bring in the SWAT team because I ain't paying crap.
There's a video online where they call this cop and he's at work. They call him at work and he records the call and he's baiting them in with all this stuff. He's kind of going, "No, you're gonna send the local police department to come pick me up if I don't pay you X." So then it goes from they want the money, but then they're like willing to take like Walmart gift cards or something for it. The IRS, you can now pay the IRS and Walmart gift. These people thought this was gonna work. Maybe it did. Like apparently they scammed a lot of people. But like that was their go-to. They were like, tell them they owe us money, and if they won't pay us, then we'll take Target credit or something. Like ask them if they live near a Bed Bath and Beyond, and see if they'll swing by and pick us up a couple of gift cards. Like but it worked. They scammed a lot of people out of a lot of money. But there's a video of this cop, like, and it's an edited one, but he keeps them on the phone for like 30 minutes where they're just feeding them, going, "You can do this, you can pay it this way, you can pay it that way," and they're telling him they're going to send the cops, and he is a cop. He's sitting at work whenever the video of him is he's sitting in uniform, and I love it. I think it's hilarious. That's great. People, but it's all from overseas and all these scams and like, how do they get that? Like,
there's a scam
randomly
once.
dial?
I got an email saying I was going to jail unless I paid these taxes. I'm like, I don't know crap. And it was a zip file, which is like it was a whole virus thing. Someone called my parents' house looking for me because I owed money. I'm like, first off, I haven't used that phone number in over like
A decade?
well, not even that. I had a business line when I was at my parents' house for the longest time. So it's been a good 15 years since I've actually used that phone number. No, actually, since '99, since I've used that phone number for anything.
So you're like 18 years deep.
So it's like, you're apparently using old information, and I'm not paying crap.
I don't know who that person is. They do not exist in my world.
Nope.
Yeah, it sucks to have to fight through all that, and I think it's a shame that I mean, people have always been getting scammed, and there's always been something going on.
You know what sucks that I hate about fighting about? Getting more subscribers to our podcast.
Hey, Hey, listen or don't, I don't care. You don't have to comment either. But if
Yes, you
don't,
do.
know that Joel is going to have a fit.
Every time someone comments on the podcast,
An angel gets its wings.
and I am very happy.
Joel gets a little boner.
I do not.
A big boner. Okay, fine, whatever. I don't care.
Okay, maybe.
I'm not here to judge. You do what you do. Like, comment, subscribe, say something back so that Joel can get over this. I don't
Yes.
care about you at all. Like, for me personally, my
Joss
day goes
Hickson,
on.
it's your turn this time.
Are you calling out specific people?
Yes, I am.
Oh man, that you are spamming. You are the spammer now.
I'm not a spammer.
Call him up. You got his number? Tell him he owes the IRS money, and instead of paying in actual money, we're willing to accept comments in lieu
yes.
of finances. See if it'll work.
That's what I'll start doing.
That's what we should start doing is pranking people. We're so gonna lose subscribers.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your mother, tell your dad. Tell everybody.
Send out smoke messages, whatever
Yes.
it takes.
Happy something or other. Later.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Bye.